Do you want to know how much it costs to live in Phoenix? Well, right here, I have the rankings, and the stats might surprise you, as they did for me. Make sure you stay until the end, because I'm going to give you all the costs for all your bills, from your rent all the way down to your cell phone, so you can decide if you can handle the cost for living in and around Phoenix. And if you're new here, my name is Ryan Ayler, and with my partner Kyle Tyler, we are Phoenix City Living's #1 relocation experts, and we've helped hundreds of people buy homes in or around Phoenix. And if you have any questions or just want to reach out to us, you can text us, you can call us, you can email us at the contact information below. But let's get into these rankings. So for these rankings, we're gonna be using bestplaces.net. So if you want to check that out, you can do that as well. And let's break down the ranking system. So 100 on the scale is even. That's the national average. And they're using over 269 cities that these rankings are based out of. And so any 1 point above 100 is 1% higher. Any 1 point below is 1% lower. So 101 would be 1% higher than national average, and 99 would be 1% lower. So now we get to get into the fun stuff and actually see the numbers. We're gonna start off with the overall ranking, and we're also gonna throw in Arizona for each one of these just for reference. So the overall cost of living ranking is 113 for Phoenix, which is 13% higher than the national average. So I was surprised with this. I thought it was gonna be a little bit below average, but it's actually a little bit above. And then if we look at Arizona, it's 106.4. And this includes a lot of different things. So housing, groceries, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and miscellaneous like goods and services. And now we're gonna go into each one of those separately. Let's start with housing. So the housing ranking for Phoenix is 118.6. So it's over 18% higher than the national average. Not too many years ago, this was much lower. It was probably well below the national average. That's how many people are moving to Phoenix, moving to Arizona, and absolutely loving it because they just keep coming. And when there's demand, prices go up. Now, if we look at Arizona as a whole, it's 119.7. So Phoenix is actually a little bit more cost effective than Arizona as a whole. Now, Phoenix ranks 56 on the housing costs out of these 269. So that's actually not too bad. I thought it was gonna be a little bit higher. So that's pretty cool to see that, yes, it is a little bit higher than national average, but it's lower than some other major cities. Next on the list is groceries, and I have a family of 5, so this hits home for me. We consume a lot of food. So that might be different for you. You might have just 1 person or 2 people, less food, or you might have more. Maybe you have a family of 10. That's a lot of mouths to feed. And so if we look at the numbers here, so Phoenix is 97.3, so lower than the national average, and Arizona is 96.1. And this is just, factoring in all of the different miscellaneous items that you're gonna get at the grocery store, food, just needs for the house. It just factors all of those in. So it's interesting to see that actually shopping for groceries is less than the national average here in Phoenix, but I'm not surprised. I've shopped in other places and it is dang expensive, especially on the East Coast. Transportation. Transportation was a little shocking for me. So Phoenix actually is 117.9 on the scale, so almost 18% higher than the national average, and Arizona as a whole is 107. So I was looking here and I was like, oh, what's the reason for that? And the gas doesn't really line up, because $3.33 is what the average cost of gas is right now at the time of this video in Phoenix. But the national average is $3.09. Well, that's not that big of a difference. But then I thought about it. Oh, Arizona is a very transient city. People are moving, people are grooving, people are driving, and you kind of have to go long distances to get to where you want to go. So we're putting more miles on. We're spending more in gas, not because the gas is necessarily more expensive by a lot. It's because we're putting more miles on the car. So that made sense to me. Now, if we compare that to California, California's gas is $4.71. That's over $1, almost $1.50 more per gallon. So compared to California, it's a deal. So it's just very interesting to see those stats, and I'd like to know what you think. Tell us in the comments below, what are you paying for gas right now and where do you live? Next up is healthcare. So healthcare actually came in really good, which is kind of interesting because we have very, very, very good hospitals here. We actually have the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix, and this is one of the best hospitals in the country, hands down. So the ranking came in Phoenix 92.5 and Arizona 97.3. So in terms of the national average, it's quite a bit lower than the national average, which is pretty cool to see. So healthcare, if that's important to you, it's actually less expensive than other parts of the country. Good old utilities, having to pay for that AC and the heating. And Phoenix, surprisingly, came in pretty darn good. So Phoenix as a whole, or Phoenix is 101.8, so just above that national average, and Arizona as a whole is 102.7. Now, I thought it was gonna be much higher because in the summer, you have to have that AC cranking 24/7. So that's gonna increase the cost, right? But then I didn't really factor in, there's many months where you don't even have to turn that on. You don't have to turn the AC on. You don't have to even turn the heater on. Some people, including ourselves, like our family, we don't turn the heater on, but maybe once or twice a year if we have special events or people over. We like it a little bit colder, get away from the heat after that time. So we pay almost nothing for utilities during the winter, and we have to pay, definitely a lot more in the summer. Now, keep in mind, there are some houses that have natural gas, which is cheaper than electricity. So if you are picking a house between natural gas and electricity, you might want to lean towards that natural gas. And if you have any questions about choosing a house based off natural gas or location, you can reach us at the contact information below. We're always here to answer any questions that you have when it comes to buying or selling in the Phoenix area. We have one now that nobody likes, so this isn't a ranking, but I thought I'd throw this as an honorable mention, which is taxes. So the sales tax in Arizona is 8.3% at the time of this video, which is slightly above average. Now, where it gets interesting is the property tax in Arizona on average is only 0.51%, and the national average is 0.99%. So that's almost half of what most people are paying for their property taxes on the houses they own, and that can add up big time. And we've seen that. The taxes are increasing. They used to be almost nothing. I've seen houses where it's like $2,000 for the year. Now we're seeing a little bit higher, but still compared to the national average, that is almost nothing. Now, another interesting thing is the state income tax of only 2.5%, no matter how much money you make. And this just went into effect in 2023. And that's pretty cool. It's the lowest income tax for a state that actually charges state income tax. And this is what you've been waiting for. What are the average costs? What are people actually paying here for all of these things in Phoenix? So if we look at the ranking here, and this is from an article by azfamily.com, we are ranked 16th most expensive city out of 50 of the largest US cities. So that was kind of interesting to know. So here's the average. So rent, the average right now is $1,167. A mortgage average right now is $1,283. Auto loans, the average is $526. Now I gotta make a mention out of this, as a lender, as helping people qualify for their houses, a car payment is one of the #1 reasons why we have to tell people, hey, you can't afford what you want, or you don't qualify at all. And so I always recommend, if you are going to buy a car or you're in the market for a car and a house, wait to get the car until after you have the house. Once you have the house, you have the mortgage, you can go off and you can buy a car, and it's not gonna affect your debt to income ratio. So I just have to throw that in because I've seen so many people's dreams crushed because of a car payment or two. Maybe they got 2 brand new cars, they went shopping for the new year, and it kept them from buying their dream home when they could have afforded it. So enough with that, we'll move on. Utilities, the average is $438. This came in the 4th highest in the US. But you know what? It's not surprising. Like I said, during that summertime, that AC is cranking 24/7. Now, health insurance, about $121 per month on average. Car insurance, $268. I don't know what it is about Arizona. Maybe it's just the number of crashes, but car insurance seems to be higher here than other places, and that's just something to factor in. Now, cable and internet is about $104 a month on average, and the last one, cell phone bills, is about $123 on average. So I wanna know, how do these average bills compare to what you're currently paying out? What state are you living in? Or if you're already in the Phoenix area, what city are you living in? I'd like to know how it compares, what you're currently seeing compared to the stats that we have here. And if you're serious about buying real estate in or around the Phoenix area, we are here to help you. We've helped hundreds of families just like you find their perfect home in the perfect area, and we wanna do this for you as well. Anytime, you can text us, you can call us, you can email us at the information below. But before you go, I think you should watch this video next.